Hey everybody, welcome to the Gibson Garage Speed Shop. My name is Alan, and I just want to start off by saying thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Actually, if you are a subscriber, thank you. It turns out, according to the analytics, most of you aren't subscribed. So help me out. Subscribe. I mean, why do you subscribe to a channel and not watch it? Not that I want you to unsubscribe. I'm just saying, you know, subscribers are going up. It's great. But then you're not watching me, so I don't know what's going on. But keep it up, guys. I appreciate it. Keep up the comments and the thumbs up and all that good stuff. And I gotta mention something. I didn't mention it at all last week. The 10K raffle giveaway. If you look at some of my older videos, not even that old, just a few weeks ago, I've been talking about it. I've got all these mini bikes and a quad and a scooter, a trike, a little mini Ninja. I'm giving it away. But I need help fixing them all up and getting to a point where they're, you know, something worth having. And I've got to raise money to host the event itself out at the clay pits here in Orville. So I've got to raise, like I just said, we got to raise some cash. Now I've got $1,000 saved up, and that's actually from my mom. I've had no donations from the super thanks button at all. I do get a little bit of money from, you know, just the views and the interactions I get and having subscribers, but that's really just enough to kind of barely keep me and the channel alive. Like I buy a part, like I just picked up these parts to this video is what we're going to be working on today, is this plate for this shifter for the 4-speed and adapter, and that's like it, less than that sometimes. And that's what the channel has to survive on month to month. So I really need and could use your donations, and I would really appreciate it. We can get this up to 10K. We'd have no problem making that event happen and pimping out all those things with everything they need, which is going to happen in April, hopefully, by the way. It's going to happen in April when the weather's nice sometime. There's no specific date yet, but stay subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you can stay in touch with that. So if you have been following along or watched the last video, you know that I put a shift kit in the truck here, but took it for a test drive, and I do not have 2nd and 4th gear, which kind of tells me that in this particular transmission anyway, there's a band that wraps around one of the drums, kind of keeping everything still while the interplanetary gear system is all left to spin. You know, during different gears, they lock up different parts of the transmission to make the planetary setup spin in even different directions, or different ratios rather. But it seems like since 2 and 4 aren't engaging at all, the band isn't engaging. And what controls the band, one of the things that controls the band is the servo, the 2-4 servo on the side of the transmission. That'd be this little guy right here, which was one of the parts that we upgraded during the shift kit. There's a heavier duty spring inside here, and the spring there is a little stiffer as well. But when I pulled it out, it seemed to be in, you know, nothing was backwards. I was hoping to pull that servo out and find one of the pieces backwards, but that didn't happen. So, and then also, again, this O-ring ripped. I couldn't get the O-ring out without ripping it again. So I can't even put it back together to see if, you know, just messing with it fix something, right? Because that always happens. So I gotta wait for that to come in. I ordered a new shift separator plate as well. So I think we're gonna be pulling that transmission again this week. Not today, we're gonna wait for the parts to show up. But today, I think we're gonna get started on this gear shifter. I got this from my buddy Rodney. He has the yellow Charger, and he also has a yellow, what is that thing? I don't know, some other old Dodge, I forgot what it's called. He gave this to me. I think this used to be his stepdad's, and I had to buy a 4-speed shift plate for it. He also gave me this cool extra handle and these adapter pieces here as we try to make it work. And then I picked up the bracketry for the transmission pan to hold the cable, because I don't know what this junk is, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to work on mine. The biggest part of this is going to be having to make a stand, like finding the perfect location there, considering I have a bench seat too. but we got to make a platform to kind of raise this up. Hopefully I got a long enough cable. We'll have to drill a hole somewhere in the firewall to kind of loop this thing down, you know, and the more I think about it, that cable doesn't look long enough to do all that. This looks like it should be pretty simple to start. We just got to pull these clips out here and those 2 screws. That hella worked. Okay, so this is actually going to go on this side. Let's see, right? Yeah. If we put it over here, yeah, we can't push the cord in enough, so we don't want to do that. Okay, now let's do something kind of fun here. I cleaned up the threads on this. Let's see if we can find an adapter here to make this shifter work. I'm more of a pistol grip shifter kind of guy. Just looks cooler to me, you know. Oh my god, how am I so good? Okay, so I think I want it right about here, align with this seam, about the height of this seam, and that puts it right underneath here. I can reach park just like this, sitting back comfortably. First gear is like this, so that's about where it's gonna have to be. Just take a measurement. That's about wrist high. Okay, let's do it. All right, so we're gonna try to make a template out of this cardboard. I took some measurements with the wrist, so I'm guessing about there high. Let's just say 8 inches. Then we're gonna want to do this. We're gonna do that. Okay, boom. Okay, something like that. Then we're gonna say, since there's an incline on the transmission tunnel, we'll go a 1/2 inch. We'll say 7.5. And then what? Now what? So we fold it here. Oh, but we want to fold it. I want to fold it that way, or maybe I can just cut like some supports. So maybe we'll go like an angle, something like that, and then something like 5 1/4 inches wide here to there. How do I figure out how wide this needs to be to fold over and meet that exactly? Well, I'm thinking something like that. We'll get this cut out and like try to mock it up. And we'll see what it looks like. Something like that. I think I want to maybe just carve out a section here, make it more like legs, and some triangle on both sides, and then some dimple. Woo! Some dimple dies here, like 5 of them. And then I don't know if I want one for the other side. All right, back in the garage. Well, let's get this thing cut out. I've got it taped up to a piece of aluminum here. I'm using aluminum first. It might not be strong enough with the weight and the shifting, but then again, I'm not like slap shifting this thing. I'm gonna put it in drive or third, and I'm gonna leave it there. If it turns out to be a little too wobbly, because I can't weld it either, so I've got these tabs. Well, those are for the legs. These tabs are to bolt it to these sides once they're folded in, and then these will be the feet to bolt to the tunnel. But if this ends up being too wobbly, then I've got some steel over here. I'll just cut it out of steel, I guess. But for now, I want to try aluminum because it's lighter. But first, I want to get this cut off and that cut off so I can situate this, you know, so the arm can reach it. Alright, so first things first is tracing. I'm gonna get it a little further away. And we'll start here in the corner, and we'll just start making our way around to all the points. Hey, that looks pretty cool, huh? Let's give it a cut, see how it turns out. Gonna try this another way, see if it'll see if it'll kick on when I hit the lightning bolt here. Well, there it is, the bracket. Now we just gotta clean up all the slag and try and fold it all. All right, we're gonna switch gears here for a minute. I got the truck up in the air, as you can tell. I've got parts in my hand. This is the O-ring that just showed up for the 2.4 servo, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in, and you're all gonna laugh at me when I still don't have 2 and 4, because all I did was replace an O-ring that I broke while taking it out. Need some transmission fluid. All right, servo is in. Just gotta put the vehicle back down and then go for a disappointing ride. Still not gonna be there. Okay, this is where we find out. Don't think it switched. Did not go in a second. RPMs, going almost 30 miles an hour. So still no second or fourth. Oh, it just downshifted. In a second, and I had no gear. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I do not have the gears. Well, that's a bummer. That means I've got to pull the transmission and flip it upside down, check out that valve body again. It's got to be that second check ball. Maybe it's blocking the flow too much on top of that first check ball. Can you be quiet? I'm trying to record here. I've marked out some holes here to dimple die, so we're gonna go ahead and just do it. Drill them all out. Alright, cleaned it up a little bit. So we're looking pretty smooth, however, there is a better side. So we're gonna keep this the outside. Punch the holes downward. And ooh, that one, oh, none of these are gonna fit. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, yay. Okay, let's try this again. Now I just got to do like 11 more. So I just want to put some slices in this guy. There we go, about the thickness of the metal, so I can fold it and it'll be flush. Ba 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 ba. Oh ho ho, Mr. Beauregard, I do declare. Oh, you know what? I should have drilled the holes first. I'm gonna drill the holes in the other ones, like all of them. Alright, here we go. First bend. Gonna just send it. Oh, dang it. I think I've run out of luck on this. I'm gonna have to bend it the ugly way or something. Okay, look at my setup here. I took one of the leaves out of the 6-inch bender and carved a groove in the socket and an extension, and hopefully this will work. I mean, genius, you don't have to call me that. If it makes you uncomfortable, but I am one. I am a genius. Oh, and the other leg is run into the back. Oh! That's a lifesaver. I come in the house and she's got cookies and tri-tip. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's better. This is finished or that there's cookies and tri-tip. Now that is sweet. All done. Alright, I got some holes marked here for the stand. I'm just going to drill right through all of this and then sink the fastener kind of down below the mat, the heat shield stuff, and hopefully that'll keep it like flush, you know, or below flush. Well, hopefully I'm not drilling into the transmission or something. Huh? Are you afraid?
I'm afraid it's the smell.
That means you're afraid.
That baby's red hot. Ooh.
Not quite what I was looking for when I did that.
Got a little melted.
But I mean, on the same side, maybe it'll serve as some glue. Oh yeah, that worked. That worked.
Yuki. Now I gotta do that 3 more times.
3 more times. Just gotta sneak this guy in here now. I had to rehearse that. I've been playing with that thing for the last 20 minutes. It's pretty cool. It's the stand's a little wobbly, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm not really, it doesn't have a manual shift valve body in it, so I'm just going to be leaving it in second or third for the most part. But yeah, I won't be slap shifting it in any case, basically, so it's not a big deal. for now, we've got to put a hole in the tunnel, more holes in the tunnel, and see if we can get this cable hooked up. It's a little tight. Honestly, it's probably the best option. It's either do a tight little S-turn, which is what I'm gonna do, or you get a super long cable to like wrap out the front and do like a reverse setup, which I don't have the brackets for, and for the transmission or for the shifter to reverse everything around, which means I'd have to get a long enough cable to go down like midway, not too short, not way up in the front of the tunnel, but like midway, and then do a long loop to come pointing back that way. Or I do like as short as possible, the short way through the tunnel, like straight down, and then do an S-turn to the transmission. And I have the cable for that. I have the brackets already made up, you know. That's the way it's gonna happen. And I already played with it a little bit, you know. It still shifts really easily when it was that tight. You still see it's got a slight S bend still kind of memorized into it. So that's what we'll do. We're gonna put a hole here. We're gonna come straight down. It doesn't feel too tight, and like I said, it still moves pretty freely. So we'll put a hole right here. We'll go through. We'll do an S bend because it's about 8 inches from the bottom. It's actually right here at the bend the input shaft is, where this thing is going to be. It's about 8 inches from the bottom. This is about 5, so 3 more inches or so down there is where this guy needs to be. Right down 8 down there. Well, I am procrastinating a little bit on cutting a hole there because, well, I gotta find a grommet first so I know what size hole to cut. So for now, we'll just get a bracket on. And we can't put the other swiveling bracket on yet until we're ready to hook up the cable. So for now, it's just gonna be this guy. I'll have to do some grommet shopping. Okay, well, we'll just tighten those up. They came with these spacers here, but no instructions, so luckily I'm smart enough to figure it out. Well, Santa's about to be here, so I'll have to say goodbye for this week. And Merry Christmas.